Hi, it's Plastic P here, and I've got Paul and John from the Monkeephiles. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Oh my God, John, it's him. It's him. It's him.
How are you, Paul?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
That's great. First time I've met you.
Oh, but I've researched your songs. I actually searched a lot of your songs, and I came across this one song that I really like, and I learned how to play it just for you. I really want it, because John, we got to get him into the band.
What's this all about? Why do you have to learn a song?
Well, because I want you to come into the band, and I'm trying to get John here to do it.
You want me to come into the Monkeephiles? I don't know if John wants that. John, do you want me to come into the Monkeephiles?
He's got to. Johnny, you got to hear this song. I love it. I swear.
Then do it.
Hey, Bananas, I think you're groovy. Okay, so here we go. It's like, hey, Bananas, we think you're groovy. Hey, Bananas, we think you're groovy.
He's grooving out there.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I'm
Not too bad.
I'm speechless.
I'm in shock.
I'm gonna be strong and silent.
Yeah, you can be strong and silent.
Now I'll be a girl.
That's okay. Don't be that. But John, let's hear your version.
Well, I'm not too familiar with it, but Paul seems to be excited about it. It reminds me a lot of a little bit me, a little bit you, actually.
Hey, bananas, we think you're groovy. Hey, bananas, we think you're groovy.
Sounds kind of familiar. It's got a real familiarity to it.
Do you know what kills it? Today, the audition, for me wanting to, for you guys, coming all the way from America to ask me here in Australia if I can be in your band. You know, that's ridiculous. I can't leave the EPs, my band, and come in your band because I'm in Australia. I can't leave my house.
Well, that you got to talk to Paul about that one.
We'll transport you live via.
I can't leave my house.
You know what? If you don't have enough facial hair, you don't have a hat.
Hey, Paul, the hat doesn't cut it. That's another reason. I don't want to be on stage with Paul in that hat.
Oh, come on.
Okay, listen. I've heard you guys play, right? And you guys are really great. But listen to this. I want you to hear the real song. It's on iTunes and Spotify. It's called Hey Bananas, We Think You're Groovy. And actually, I did the video clip on the Hollywood Boulevard. Do you know that? I went all the way from Australia to do the clip. So I'm going to show you a little bit. Let's hear it. Hang on. Do you know that straight? Anyway, to catch the rest of the song, I'm sure you can check it out on iTunes and keep practicing. But you know what? You need to impress somebody like this. You know, you could have a stand-in in your band. He could be in your band. You could have a cutout of me. How's that?
You're beside yourself.
You reckon that would work?
Yes. Yeah.
Listen.
You can prop it up right in front of Ryan's drums.
I've got to ask you guys now, what are you doing currently? Obviously, now it's hard to play, yeah?
Go ahead, Paul.
What?
You're just going to do live concerts, yeah, on the net?
We haven't tried to arrange that yet since we all have quite a distance somewhat between us. You know, me and John are actually kind of closer, and Ryan lives in Clark Summit, which is a little farther, and Michael, our bass player, lives down in Philly, or Limerick, actually. So Limerick, Pennsylvania, which is down by Philadelphia. So it's kind of tough for us to get together to do a live concert, although I really want to do so. But until this ban and stuff gets lifted and everything, then we're kind of stuck doing all solo stuff, I guess.
Who started the band off? John, did you start the band? Just tell me a little bit how you started, you guys.
Well, that Paul and I were the original two crazed super fans that started playing stuff in the studio.
Yep.
And Paul, you tell the story. I'm still sleepy here. I'm gonna have some.
But the funny thing is how we actually met, and it was like coincidence, because you only could find that one rare person that is like a diehard Monkees fan, and just out of the blue. And I was actually subbing on a friend's bowling team, and I had my headphones on, and I was listening to "Hold On Girl," which is from the Monkees, More the Monkees EP, and it's like kind of an obscure track off that people would know, but maybe a lot of people wouldn't. And I sang a line, and I stopped because it was my turn, and he finished it. And we looked at each other, and it was like, the Monkees. You're a Monkees fan. And the next thing you know, we started talking, and then I went over his house. He showed me his collection, and I was like blown away by it because he had stuff that I didn't even have. Like, I had a small collection of CDs and everything at the time, and he had the full-blown Monkees collection. And we started jamming it out. We he actually traded in his whole Monkees collection that he had, and I think got about probably around $6,000 for it, and put together a studio in his house, in his basement, in the little room. And we started recording song after song to see if we could actually sound like them and everything else. So we started off with Door in the Summer. Then I think we did Porpoise Song, and we did about 86 tracks. And we've had a lot of memorable times with them because we've played them for people, and they would say, wow, you sound just like the actual track and everything. And a lot of the stuff that they used in the studio at the time when they recorded their music, we didn't have. Like on Papa Jean's Blues, there is a instrument called the jawbone. And basically it's the jawbone of a horse or a donkey, and you slap the side of it and the teeth rattle, which would be the vibra slap.
There's a funny story, a really good story behind the jawbone. Remember that, Paul?
Yeah, I currently have one of these instruments, but it's not the original one. I had ordered one, and when the Monkees, when Mike was joining the group again after Davey died to go out on tour with Peter and Mickey, we were contacted by their keyboard player, Dave Alexander, because he knew we had this jawbone instrument, and they were doing the song they used it on Headquarters called Early Morning Blues and Greens. So what they wanted, they were going to perform that track live, so they wanted the actual instrument to do it, because he told them about the idea, and they were great. So we sent it out on an overnight shipment to him, and and he sent me a video of Mike, Mickey, and Peter opening this jawbone. They didn't know what it was at first. It was in a box, and they opened it up, and it's like, wow, so this is like the actual instrument. So I had a picture sent to me with them holding it and everything else. And but what happened was they were getting ready to play, and they went to dinner, and all the instruments, including the jawbone, were set up on the stage like they are and everything else. But one of the stagehands was checking everything and making sure, but he was playing around with the percussion instruments. And you got to remember, a jawbone is an actual jaw, so it is fragile too if you do not hold it correctly and hit it correctly. So he actually grabbed it on the one side and hit the other side, and it split it right down the middle. So they didn't even get to use it on the tour before it even started. But I had bought a new one, and we got Mickey to sign it, and I still have it to this day. It's actually up on my shelf up over there.
Talking
really
about
cool.
that song, I just want to say I think that was written by Ellie Greenwich. Greenwich, yeah. Am I right? Early
Yep.
morning blues and greens from memory.
I believe it was.
I wish we could play for you, but we get that the timing gets all
Hey, you got your fingers working, but let me tell you this now. I saw your cup of tea there, what you were drinking. I got to see it. It's got the Monkeephiles on it. Where do they get that? Where can they buy that?
They can't. It's just a limited edition promo.
Well, did you order one?
No, actually, our fifth member, Bill Shin, was dating a girl who worked at a place that makes all these kind of tchotchkes and things. So he all of a sudden and that picture that you see above my head, she had that framed and made too, one for each of us, which we really loved it and appreciated it. But there was a handful of things that we had, like little cozies and mugs and stuff like that, just kind of as little promo items that she gave to us, which we thought were cool. But if there's enough demand for it, we'll certainly make more.
What about T-shirts, John?
Oh,
any T-shirts?
T-shirts we have. Actually, I think we're probably due for a new batch. Are we not, Paul?
I think we are. If we're going to do this every year, of getting new shirts, then I think we are.
No, we did 2 years with the red ones already.
Paul, where can they buy that from?
They can contact our drummer Ryan Fenton or message him through our Monkeephiles page, and we will try to get a shirt out to you. The current color anyway, which is the red shirt with the buttons on it. And just to show you, and I just wanted to show you because I really don't show this to everybody.
Okay.
That this is what this is.
Oh wow.
That is the instrument, the jawbone.
How do you play that?
So basically, you have to hold it from down here, and you hit it from the side, like this.
Show him.
But what he did. But here's the signature, Mickey's signature.
That's great. That looks like it came out from the Arizona desert.
Yeah, but see, like what the guy did when he played it that night was he grabbed it here and hit it here, and when you do that, it split it right down the middle. So it kind of ended its abrupt. But this is the new version, more protected, and that's Mickey's signature that we had him sign when I got the new one.
That's fantastic. Have you heard of that instrument they put in their mouth called a juice harp?
Yeah, I've heard of those.
How do you pronounce that?
I think
juice harp.
Yeah, that's juice actually harp? What it is. It's called a juice harp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I've seen that. It goes twang, twang, twang.
If you ever have a question about percussion instruments or crazy little weird instruments you've never heard about before, ask Paul. He'll know.
Well, I mean, he pulled out the jawbone. I thought it was a tiny thing. I didn't know it was the whole animal's jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been out in the desert looking for fossils or something, Paul?
Well, depending on the size of the animal, where they got it from, and I'm just going to state that they don't kill horses and donkeys just for this jaw. They wait for them to pass on, because it is a very authentic Mexican instrument. So they currently still use these. But the reason why they created the vibroslap, now the difference between this and the vibroslap is the vibroslap actually has a little bit more resonance.
What other fascinating instruments do you play?
Well,
monk bell.
While we were making studio tracks, we came across doing I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. And the version we did was from the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkeys. Well, the person playing percussion on that track used an instrument called the cuica. And I had bought one on eBay. I found a cheap one on eBay, and we used that. And basically, now I don't have this. I don't know where it is. It was a cylindrical drum, probably about maybe this high. And it's got a bamboo, really thin bamboo stick going right down the middle of it. And you use a damp rag or like maybe oil on your fingers, and you rub it against this, and it makes like a
Seriously, if you listen to the record,
that's a great noise. That one.
how long did it take us to actually get that to sound right? It was forever.
I don't know.
I think you ended up playing it. You had to end up playing it because I didn't know how to play it. Tambourines, maracas, and cowbells, yeah, but I couldn't even make it sound like this. Usually I'm kind of rhythm oriented on everything else, but we were puzzled. So John actually had to do it using candle wax.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the candle wax.
Candle wax on your finger.
Hey, you didn't burn
And
your
then you
fingers
ran out
with
of
your
candle
job.
wax, and you had to stop it and do it again.
No, it wasn't melted candle wax. It was just I kind of rubbed my finger against the candle and got that little bit of a coating, and then it gave just enough friction on the bamboo stick to make that quick a sound like the record did it. Like Paul so eloquently demonstrated.
You know, it sounds like an ape and a monkey in the zoo or something.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, do you know what? All the top LA musicians will be watching this clip to get some tips. Do you agree?
Well, there is something funny at the time though, because we recorded our version of Early Morning Blues and Greens, but at the time, see, I didn't have the jawbone, so to try to get the real sound, how they did it, and we needed to finish the track, so I said, well, we got to find something. So he said, well, what about a cookie sheet? So I went upstairs into his stove, like on the bottom. We have the bottom part of the stove where we storage container. I grabbed the cookie sheet, brought it back down, and used a drumstick on it, and that's how we got the sound.
It worked though. We needed reverb, but still it worked pretty good.
Hey, listen, I got to say something before we wrap it up, right? I want you to say goodbye, but look, I've gone on the net and I've heard your version of You Bring in the Summer, and I got to say, hey, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you, John, too. So what I want to do is I want you guys to take me out on that song, but from Plastic EP, Paul and John, I got to tell you, it's been a pleasure, and I want you guys to say goodbye to everyone and just go into the song, and then we'll just adios amigos.
Goodbye, everyone, from Pennsylvania.
See you later. Hope we can come to one of our shows one day. That'd be cool.
I'll bring the chips and the dips and even the clouds up here.
Come around.
You bring the summer.
I don't sing this one live.
It's better. We can hear it all out. You bring the summer. All right, guys. All the best.
All the best. Thank you for the interview.
It's okay. No worries. From Melbourne, Australia, signing out, Plastic EP.